class. Today we are going to learn how to weigh a patient for state competency. It is a little different than how we would normally do it at a facility. So for state competency, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to knock and introduce ourselves again. And so I would say, Mrs. Cutler, my name's Kelly. I'm going to be your CNA today. And is it okay to get you weighed?
Yes, that would be fine. Thank you.
Now this skill is not an ambulation skill and it's not a gait belt skill. So I can actually just go ahead and ask her to come and sit up at the side of the bed. So I can go ahead and just ask her if she can go ahead and swing her feet over. Is this in your way? We can put this down for you. And then the other thing we can do is the person has to have their shoes or non-skid socks when we go over to the scale, and I can ask her to just go ahead and slip her shoes on, and it's okay to just let her do them herself. Now this is a little different when we do ambulate with the gait belt or transfer to a wheelchair. So this skill, like I said, she can do these for herself. Okay.
Okay, got him on for you.
So now we'll go ahead and stand up, and we'll just walk her on over to the scale. So, and I'll just walk beside her. Now before I have her step up on the scale, we are going to make sure that the scale is all the way to 0. So this bottom one here goes to 0 and this top one goes to 0. Now if you can see this, before I actually put her up here, we have pounds and kilograms all on the same bar. So you do need to be aware of that and pay close attention to this. When you're looking at this, for instance, the gray is pounds, this is 50 pounds. Right here, that is 40 kilograms, even though you see the 100 right there, the arrow is actually on the 40 kilo mark. This one here, it's now on the 100 pounds. So you want to make sure when we're doing our weight that we're all on pounds or all on kilograms. The state does not care which one we do so long as we're all the same. This would be 60 kilos, that is 150 pounds. Now when you look at this top bar here, just so you know how this works, again, the pounds is in gray, the kilograms is in black, and each one of these little marks, like here's the 12, each one of these little tiny hash marks here is worth 1/4 of a pound. So if I have it 12 and 2 little tiny hash marks, it would be 12.5 pounds there. So I just wanted to explain that before we went any further. So now I'm going to, so I've walked Carol over and I'm going to have her step up on the scale. Now I can actually see the weight standing behind her. I could measure it that way, but normally when you measure someone or when you weigh someone, you want to be standing next to them in case they get dizzy or lightheaded. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to put her on the 100 pounds. Now I think she's probably going to be in the 100 to the 150 range. So what I do is I put it up to 150 just to see if that's too much, and I can see that that's going to be a little too heavy. So now I'm going to go back to the 100. And now I'll start moving the top one. And you just kind of bring it over until you see that your bar here kind of fluctuates evenly in between the middle. So it's starting to do that now. So now I want to kind of go in lower increments. And that's maybe a little too much. And so you want to wait till this bar is kind of situated in the middle and it's not touching the top, nor is it touching the bottom. I don't have to wait till it's completely still, but you do want to make sure that you're not too heavy or too light with this. And now I'm going to go ahead and ask her to step down. Now, before I walk away, I'm going to verify that I have my weight here, even though I can't quite record yet. And so I'm at the 100, and here I'm at the 40. So these lines here, I'm at the 49 1/4, so I would say 149 1/4 is her weight in pounds. And now we're going to go ahead and walk her back to her room. I cannot record yet. I have to get her all situated yet. So we're going to come back to the bed. Put your feet down for you, and I can have her slip off her shoes. Step on back. We'll get her covered up.
Thank you.
Now I didn't have to raise her bed up for anything, even though her head of her bed's up. I didn't raise the whole bed up, so I don't have to put the bed back down. It's already low. I want to make sure she can reach her call light, and we are just using this right now for our designated call light. So I'm gonna make sure she can reach her call light.
Thank you.
And then I would tell my evaluator I would wash my hands. Now I'm going to record. I actually have to wash my hands before I record. So let me get this paper here so I can show you this. You will get a piece of paper that looks like this. It will have the date and your name already on it. You are going to mark weight, because that's what our measurement skill was, and the candidate is used. So for the candidate results, I would put 149 point, and now I'm thinking, was it 149 and a half or 140, I think it was 149 and a half or 149.25. Okay, I think it was 149.25. So what I would recommend to you is, you might have noticed over here on the scale, I did not put everything back over to 0. In case I needed to come and take a look real quick, I can see it's 149.25. I'm gonna mark that here, and then I'm gonna hand this to my evaluator and they'll mark what they got on it. And then I am done with that skill.